This is week 4. This is week 4. I've been staying consistent. I'm on the ball here. This is week 4. Potemkin. Potemkin. I need to do a couple of things. There we go. Whoops, that's a pretty big mistake. Okay, let's put on the training mode display. First one. Potemkin. What does Potemkin do? This is probably the easiest to describe out of all the characters we've done so far. Even though we've only done 3, he's very straightforward. Yes, I always practice on the FAB color. FAB, I'm coming for you, dog. I'm still coming for you, don't forget. Kidding. Or am I? Anyway. What he does is very straightforward. He is the dedicated grappler of the game. He's a dedicated grappler of the game. His whole goal... Do I have to say the shine thing again? You fucking... I hate that. I actually hate that. Because that is shitting on shine too when people say I'm free to Potemkin and it ignores my wins against Potemkin. That pisses me off a lot. That's not funny at all to me. I can't keep looking at the stream checks. That will distract me. Alright, so I will just ignore that. I'll just ignore it. Yeah, it's not fair because it's a little not fair because you didn't hear me the first time because I had no mic. But yeah, there's a bunch of stuff I want to talk about later. But anyway, actually this would be a little bit easier. Should I use a time count? Yeah, I know you're not serious, but a lot of people actually are serious, and it makes me really mad. Because it is more like it shits on him when he wins a little bit, because we're like, ha, you can't beat Milia, you can't beat Potemkin when you play Milia. Like, what the fuck's your problem? So that shits on him, and then like it shits on me because it ignores when I win, also, which is bad. It's bad on both sides. It pisses me off a lot when people say that. Anyway, heated stuff could be saved for later. I actually want to do this. Where was I even? Okay. I'll just start over. For future LK, don't just cut that all out. No one needs to hear all that unless they really feel like watching the whole archive. Potemkin's a dedicated grappler of the game, I said, right? I mean, that's it. So he has the most HP out of anyone in the game. Best defense, I should say. Best guts. Does a lot of damage, has a command grab, is not mobile. He's more mobile than some grapplers, I would say. Like, he has forward movement, like special movement with Hammerfall. He has a double jump, which is nice. And he has some tools that help him fight like at full screen. But compared to other characters, he's not as mobile. He has the slowest jump in the game, which can be important for you. And he is the biggest character in many ways. Quick example, let's not press that button that I just pressed. Quick example is this will not hit any other character except for Potemkin. Your character might have a move like this too that hits him that wouldn't hit other characters. You might have special combos on him. Milia has one. It all depends. He's big. They're making him a little bit smaller again. He's supposed to be smaller in this version. You might have seen me do something like this before. No one else gets hit by that. Like, he's big, he's strong. That's what he does. Big, strong, slow. Someone like Bum would play Potemkin. Alright. So I guess we'll just hop right into it. The round start for him, I think, is actually really simple. It's a lot simpler than other characters. He has... Whoops. Basically, he has 2P and then everything else. Probably the first thing you'd have to do is see if your character could beat 2P at the start of the round. Because if not, So this, I should lose every time. I will lose this every time. There's no way I'm beating this ever, ever, ever. If I did it right, I would lose all the time. And as a reminder, backdash and jumping are not that important at round start, because you know someone who's backdashing is giving up that ground, someone who's back jumping is giving up that ground, and jumping forward is a non-committal read against something with high recovery that you probably won't always be doing. So it's either that or pretty much everything else he does would be the uncommon option. So usually what ends up happening for characters is they lose to his 2P or trade with 2P, but they could beat everything else. So the guessing game is around that. Why don't you want to get hit by 2P? Or oh, hold on. So if he tags you, he does get that meter, even if it's a little bit. His whole goal, and we're going to talk about this in neutral in a second. Oops. Wow. His whole goal this is all sorts of round starts I've seen from Potemkin. To be honest, very rarely do I see them backdash, even though his backdash is good. But it's nothing on me, so. So neutral. His neutral is special compared to other characters. Like, I'm going to do a similar looking at his moveset approach, but I think there's an important idea you need to understand going into fighting Potemkin when you talk about Potemkin. So, so he can't run. He has the God backdash. It's 20 frames invulnerable, 21 frames active. So it's really fucking good. He can jump, double jump, no air dash, and he can super jump also. He has the slowest jump in the game. It's 5 frames. So the way you have to approach him is a little bit different. First off, he gains a ton of meter for moving forward compared to other characters. Milia, as you can see, not so quick. Potemkin, much faster. And usually his goal is he just wants meter in neutral. How he goes about it per character might vary. Actually, instead of might, I should say it will definitely vary, but he is really just trying to gain meter in neutral. If he gets a knockdown, like, cool, he gets to start his plan. But more than anything else, it's mostly about maintaining ground and gaining meter. Okay, so let's look at moves. He has a couple of really important pokes we should probably talk about. Wow, why am I doing that? Why did I hit Blitz? Whoops. 5H, really long reach. You're not fucking with it at this range at all. And this move kind of defines just his moveset in general as far as neutral. He has a lot of big moves that are kind of hard to fuck with, ground versus ground, but there's stuff you can do. So we take this 5H for example. So obviously the big advantage is he covers a lot of range. He can't knock down at max range, but he can knock down at a decent range. And you're probably not punishing it at all. You can't really. It's really far. It's attack level 4. It puts you back a lot. But it has a decent amount of recovery. So there's two ways to approach beating that move. Because when he does it, it is a commit. Like he's committing to hitting that button. So you can try to outright read it. Which I'm not at the right spot. Whoops. Well, okay, I guess I'll do it like that. There's a bunch of ways she could do it, but you can either try to read it outright, or you could wait and do some kind of air with punish if your character has a fast enough air dash. I didn't do it fast enough. So you go right over it. If you have higher, reward ways of doing it, then by all means, go for it. you have to understand too, the range it covers is really big. Like, it's hitting me from here. So if he's being, so he can use this as a reactionary poke, even though it has a decent amount of recovery. Okay. This is another one. Same idea. You're really not punishing it unless he's close. He's not going to use it from very close. This one outright knocks down. So if he knocks you down, that's bad news for you. That's not good. But it's the same type of idea as 5H. Like, you are probably jumping over it, or you're letting him whiff it. The range where he's doing this, it's a bit of a guessing game. Because the next move I'm going to talk about, because 5H and 2D kind of similar usage, similar range that they play in, would be this. So that's his anti-air. It's not the best anti-air in the game. It will do the job. So if you let's say this was the range I was using 5H. If you assume he's gonna do it, it'll just blow you up, and you will get knocked down for sure. It is slow though. He can't really use it on reaction, especially if your character has a fast air dash. He kind of has to just do it. Like, if he tried to do it on reaction, that might happen, which is not so bad for you. Whoops, I messed it up. That will happen pretty often if he tries to do it on reaction. Usually they have to do it early, so you kind of have to play patiently against that, especially if you see them going for that a lot. That anti-air I think is better against jump-ins than air dashes, just as another note. Jump H. Okay, Jump H. This is one of his main jump-ins. This is one of his main jump-ins. It's actually pretty easy to anti-air. It kind of depends on what's going on. The thing is, it can double as a... Am I not inputting? Okay. Yeah. It can do this also, so depending on how you jump at him, you might get air thrown. But like most jump H's we've talked about so far, it has the same weakness as all of them. Like, it's not fast. So... And not only is it not fast, but also he can't air dash. So when he goes in the air, he really can either attack, block, or just double jump. So, for example, Millia has a fast air dash, but when you see him jump, you could actually just air dash at him quickly. Good bodied. I'm doing too fast. Whoops. I guess I gotta be like here. There we go. Just watch the range, because he has a really big air throw range. So just watch the range, but you can tag him like that, or if you have like a low commit like anti-air jab or something fast, you can just tag it on the ground. Millia's pretty privileged, so I can just do that. Timing though. There we go. Into whatever you want. That move, if you let him do that move a lot, it's not so great for you. When you block Potemkin, it lets him start offense, which is not great. I'll talk about that more in a little bit. So next is that. This is the same as Faust. The same exact. Oh, am I doing wrong? Let's try to. There you go. Okay, this is the same as Faust. It's like it hits really deep, but again, it's slow. So the main thing is it depends on what you're looking for in Jump H. See, I'm using 6 feet here and getting hit. Oh, whoops. But it loses to the same kind of thing. It's slow. It's slow, so you could try to air versus air it, or you have to use a fast anti-air or something like a... Like, if you have an anti-air that hits... that has invul above the knee, you probably don't have to worry about this. If you have one that hits above the waist or has control above the waist, then you might lose to it, especially if you're trying to anti-air like a JH. If you use the same timing as if he's doing jump H, you'll probably lose. So either you gotta be quick on the draw or you gotta jump and try to catch him. This move, jump D. So like most jump Ds in the game, you can't really anti-air directly. See, I clash, lose. You beat it the same general way. I'm pretty sure you can't do this. Yeah, you can't do it. For him, usually I attack from the front, or as usual, use a fast attack, but try to stay in the front. And of course, you could always, whoops, nice. You could always do that too, or just, can you do it on the ground? I forget. No, you can't. But usually I end up doing that, or, whoops. If you can attack from the front, then that's the best way. It has a pinch of land recovery if you're looking for it. See, it's counter state. Whoops. You gotta be careful. If you try to anti-air it directly though, you will lose or clash every time. But at least you know if he's double jumping, it's pretty likely that that move will come. So you have to either try to reposition yourself so you can hit it, or try to air IB. Usually I hit it from the front though. This is my standard answer. Let's talk about Hammerfall. First off, please learn your Hammerfall punish. This move is super fucking punishable on block. If you block that move, you need to kill him. You really do. He has a lot of life. Some people, not even some people, most Potemkin players have in their mindset that it's okay to use their life as a resource because they have so much, which I agree with. I think it's pretty logical. But this move is a whole, let's see, it's minus 16. It's minus 16 on block, so before anything, before even talking about the move itself, like properties of the move and stuff, please learn a really, really good punish for this move. A lot of times I see this move go unpunished, and this game, unless you're playing like new character squad, like X-Raid character squad, you probably aren't, or I should say you might not be punishing this move as well as you could. When I started, that was my punish. Like, cool. Like, no Potemkin cares about getting hit by that. Nobody cares. That did no damage. But I think everyone would care about getting hit by this. So I would very highly suggest that you learn your punish for this. It's really, really fucking punishable, and you shouldn't let it rock. Ever, ever, ever. Now, as far as the move itself, it has super armor on it, so you have to hit it twice. It's not so bad when they just do it, but I think in the case of of Hammerfall YRC, it makes it a little bit more threatening. Hammerfall YRC, so this is pretty common. The common thing you'll see after it is not Mega Fist. As you can tell, I'm not a Potemkin player. There you go. There's of course a bunch of things he could do after that. He doesn't have to just do Potemkin Buster. He can 2H if he's under you. I've seen that. He can go for Heat if he reads your jump, or delay 2S. There's a bunch of stuff he could do. Ideally, you don't want him to get to the point where he wires these in front of you. You kind of want to hit him out of it. If you have fast moves, So in Amelia's case, usually what ends up happening is that, or that, or something along those lines. Something along those lines. You definitely have to check by character, but just be careful when he has 25. You don't want to be throwing out single pokes, because that will happen, and that really sucks. And that starts his game. So this is Legendary Flick. Legendary Flick. So depending on who you play, what character you play, I mean, this will be or won't be something in neutral. If you have a projectile, this, and I think it'll be a better example if I use like Kai or something. We change the track to someone just a nice easy projectile. Does anyone actually like Engage? I mean, I guess it's okay. Okay, so when he successfully flicks a projectile, he will send out a bullet at you. Depending on who you play, again, I'm saying it again, it will affect the matchup. It can affect it different ways. Mostly, though, it not only gives him meter, but it gives him ground to move forward. So actually, usually what ends up happening is like... So he'll walk behind that a little bit. He gets some ground. Maybe he does Hammerfall break behind it. If, again, depends on your character. If he mistimes it, though, that's usually what you're aiming for. Either him not actually reflecting your projectile, like messing it up, or him not being confident in doing it for some reason, like you're too close or something. Those are your main things. If you're doing it from really far away, he can pretty much just flick it. He gets meter for doing the special 2. He'll move forward, etc. Like, it's actually really good for him. And it's his prime way with for dealing with zoning. Because normally, grappler characters in fighting games, traditional grapplers, all have problems. All have problems with zoning. But that move helps mitigate it. So if your character doesn't rely on projectiles very much, it won't matter. But if they do, you're gonna have to worry about that. And an additional thing, which I'll touch on later, is he could do it out of in pressure too, like when he's blocking too. Like if you're over here and you just decide to do it, he could flick it. I'll touch more on that a little later though. Usually the best way to deal with it is to play at a range where he doesn't quite know what you can do and he can't react either. Like he has to make a decision because he can't reposition himself very quickly. So here would be... That's a little bit too close. Like around here would be a little bit quick because here I could air dash, I could jump, I could run up, or I could do it. So there's a bunch of stuff I could do all in the same spot. Nice. All in the same spot. But flick only beats the projectile. Again, at long ranges, it's really easy for him to do it. So try not to do it in an obvious way. In the case of the Amelia matchup, usually the obvious tell for them is when she jumps, normal jumps. That's usually when they'll flick. It's pretty easy. They're not, and it's non-committal for them in that situation. Because if they flick the pin, then Amelia can't do anything. And if she does nothing, then they just recover. Flick has a pretty fast recovery, considering the type of move it is. And here's his other anti-zoning move. It's not that. It's definitely not that. What is the... Well, you could tell I'm not a Potemkin player. I'm just guessing his inputs until I get it right. Okay, there we go. Oh, I will also switch characters for this too. It is Slide Head. Slide Head is his other anti-zoning move. Wait, does Venom... Doesn't he? Right? Venom dashes over Slide Head, right? I forget. Well, Slide Head's it's an unblockable low. Is that a good way to say it? It's an unblockable attack. I shouldn't call it an unblockable low. It's not like Makoto, what Makoto has in Blaze Blue. There we go. Can you do it? Oh, he can't do it, or did I get hit? Okay, he can't do it. Okay. Okay, he can't do it. I'm pretty sure Dizzy can do it, though. I'm relatively sure that Dizzy's got that. I thought Venom could do it, though. I know... Okay, Ram can, Dizzy can, Johnny can, Milia can 6k, but she can't do it, like, super late anymore. Oh, it's nice dash, buddy. Yeah, there we go. So it's an anti-zoning move, so, for example, blown up, right? And not just anti-zoning, like, it's easy to say it's anti-zoning, but it's also, like, if you're sleeping a little bit too much, or, like, this happens sometimes. How do I do it? Okay, I'm trying to... This happens relatively often. Not relatively often, but it's a... Like, let's say you're floating, and then he does it when you land, kind of thing, so you'd have to, like... Oops. You'd have to, like, do something immediately when you land, pretty much. If you're privileged enough to just be able to dash over it, good for you. If not, you'll have to react with, like, a jump or something. If you do get the air approach, then awesome. If you get the punish, really good. So Dizzy could dash over it, so she's privileged. Can you FD on land to stop the meaty slide head on land? No, because you're blocking. You're blocking. You'd have to do whatever it is your character does. To stop that. Again, this is mostly like a full screen tool. So usually it's only the characters that can move forward, like Dizzy or Johnny, that can get real punishes off it. Outside of that, you have to read it with like an IAD or something to stop it. Not stop it, but like punish it. But it's definitely something to be aware of, because if he gets a successful slide head, that could change the game. That could really change the game, because he gets to get in off that. Is there any questions so far? I talked about a lot of stuff. I talk about a bunch of shit. Is there any questions? Gotta see. Should I feel bad if you got pop busted 4 times? Probably. You probably should feel bad. The next part is actually pretty important because it's gonna be when you're blocking Potemkin, right? So the things I'm going to talk about here, I should say they will carry to every other fighting game you play for the rest of your life, pretty much. So especially if you are, even if you're like mid-level, like, you should probably pay attention to this part. Because next is when you're blocking Potemkin, which it will be half talking about guarding Potemkin specifically, but half talking about defending against grapplers, period, in fighting games, because he is a grappler. So the main idea of what you want to do against him is the same as pretty much every other grappler in existence. but okay. Okay. Hold on, I gotta... Let me pull this up real quick. Strategy. Yeah, the whole blocking him and not getting grabbed, there was a problem. Well, the ideal is you don't even let him get to that point, because if you looked at all the moves we talked about, a bunch of them lead to knockdown. Not all of them, but a bunch of them lead to knockdown. Jump A, guarding jump H or jump S means you're in this defending situation. So ideally, you just don't get into that situation, because if we're talking about blocking Potemkin, that's when he's at his absolute best. If you're just talking about grapplers in general, obviously this applies to Potemkin, but if you talk about grapplers in general, they are at their best legitimately like here. I guess it depends how big their command grab is pretty much. Potemkin can command grab you from, you can tell I don't play this character. He could command grab you probably from like here, right? Whoops. Here? Oh. Do I need to turn that button off. Yeah, it has a really big range, so... Ooh, look at this guy. Okay. Here though? the range is no joke. The range is no joke, so... The two best situations for a grappler is obviously when their opponent is cornered and when they got their opponent blocking. The equalizer, I would say, in a grappler's rushdown offense, I should say, is it doesn't really matter how good you are because of the nature of what they do. As in, it doesn't matter how good the defender is, like what skill level they are. It's still a grappler. Like, it's still a guessing game. You could be like the best player in the world and still get pop bustered or 360'd or SPD'd or whatever is your command grab. Like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. That being said, you pretty much defend. I mean, outside of game specifics, you pretty much defend against grapplers the same way. Generally, so I will talk about the general thoughts you want to have first, and then I'll talk about Potemkin specifically after. It's going to be a bit of going back to what we talked about with Soul, because Potemkin's mix-up honestly is just poke throw. So a really good start is if you have a good fuzzy jump timing, then you will get pretty far. It's not enough, you'll get pretty far. Potemkin has the convenience of oh, actually no, I'm getting too much into Potemkin first. Yeah, you want to start with fuzzy defense if you can, because that'll help you defend against frame traps and the command grab. They have to target your jump. Some games you might not have that, but you might have something else. In the end, though, all you want to do, like, your whole goal isn't really to like hit the amount of stuff. It's more that you want to just get away. So let's say, for example, you probably watch we watch Shine in Tournament, for example, and you see he gets people like, not that. Well, I guess what's the string? Is it that? So it's like something like that. He just kind of tags people with like 2K, and you're like, man, why does this guy keep getting hit by 2K? It's probably because the opponent is like they don't want to be next to Potemkin. They're already mashing on whatever they're trying to do, and he just catches them with nothing. So even though it doesn't do a ton of damage, it'll put the opponent in the same situation again. So it's actually pretty bad. You have to be able to keep your cool in that kind of situation and just like commit to what you think is gonna come. It sounds really similar to other types of offense, but your win is him being pushed away from you, like you getting far away from him, because he can't run. His only way to get back in is I'm kind of going back into Potemkin, but his only way to get back in is with hammerfall break. So if he gets to a point, there's a point in his string, especially if you block this, he's probably not coming at you after that. Like, if you block 2D, you pretty much made it. If we're talking about Potemkin specifically, I said before that fuzzy defense is a good place to start, and it is. It's true. But Potemkin specifically has a couple of extra options to deal with certain types of defense. If we're talking about fuzzy jump specifically, did I time it right? Yeah, it got me. So this move specifically calls out jumps. It's bad if you get hit by that. It's a hard read for sure, but just the fact that it's available keeps it RPS. Let's say he has a hard commit move that'll hard call out your thing that beats a couple of options. So it's something you have to stay aware of. On top of that too, for the person who's too defensive, like Guilty Gear, you have the convenience of having something. Yeah, faultless defense, so you can push them out. If you're too focused on pushing him out only, he can I don't play him. He can hammer fall, but I should probably do it from farther, right? So like, what's a good way to do it? He has two ways he'll go back. He has 6K, and he has hammerfall break in general. That's if you're too focused on pushing him out. It's bad for multiple reasons. One, because you're trying to FD him out, he has more advantage, and he's advancing at you, so it's like you wasted your meter. Two, he gets to try again. He gets to try his thing again. That sucks. And of course, if you're too complacent while he's right in front of you, you could just get grabbed. So what do? You have to make a choice. So it sucks to say, but flat out, it does involve guessing. But there's stuff you could do to mitigate what he does. So first off, you should aim to FD jump-ins. I should hold down back. Okay. So this is him if he just jumps in. This is him if you IB. Look how close he is, and there's less blocks done. And this is how far he is if you FD. He's much farther. Of course, you don't want him to be. Oh, whoops. Let's try to. Wow. I don't play Potemkin. There you go. That should be fine. Jesus Christ. There you go. Oh, it still reaches, but he has to wait longer because you're in 2 frames extra block stun, so you can't do it as fast. If you IB, he could do it earlier. Most, not all, but most players won't account for the extra FD timing. You should try to FD his normals in general, because you do want him to be pushed out. In the corner, it won't do as much, but mid-screen, if he does, let's see, let's try to do. Okay. The difference is pretty big. Then you're reset to full screen. It gets a little bit more complex. Oh, I should say he also can't special cancel this, so that's why when you block that move, you're safe pretty much. This is where it gets a little bit tricky. I'll go back to the corner. So hammer fall break pressure. So hammer fall break is 15 frames. The fastest one you could do is 15 frames. So level 4 attacks are plus. So something like wow, nice. Whoops. I'm not a god Potemkin player, but technically. If I could do it, it's +3. Whoops. That's +3 and that's +3. Why? Because they're both level 4 attacks. And this is on normal guard, they're plus. 6K is the bigger threat, of course, because he's advancing. Level 2 attacks are minus. They're -2 on normal guard. So they would be even on FD and -5 on IB, so that's not so bad. Level 3 attacks, like 2S, this is +1 on normal guard if he does Hammerfall Break. So step 1 is, ideally you want to IB the level 4 and level 3 attack. Ideally. At least normal guard is fine. If you FD them, it's bad for you. Uh, it is also a bit of a guessing game too, because for the most part, like he can't do it off 6K. 6K is only special cancelable, but 5H 2D exists and 2S 2D exists. So it's like he could do both another normal and special cancel NB plus. So that situation is tough. When he does that again, he's back in your face. So it's like you got to go through another cycle of poke throw or beat your whatever you try to do on defense. So what do you do about that? If you think he is gonna hammerfall break, especially if it's something that's not a high level attack, you can try to mash, you can try to IB jump. Both of those are fine. As far as the level 3, level 4 attacks, you want to IB them ideally and do something like jump, mash, whatever. But you keep in mind too that again, these can be cancelled into 2D. Now, as far as we'll go back to mid screen. Now, as far as mid screen poke throw, like I said, he could do nice Potemkin Buster. There we go. Wow, that much blocks on? There we go. So here, like, we have the situation where you can fuzzy jump out, yeah, but he can also, yeah, what I'm about to say, I haven't talked about yet. So yeah, there you go. So he caught me off it. So it's not foolproof, like I said before, but in mid screen, especially if you have a good backdash, you have a special option. You could try to fuzzy backdash. I can do like, whoops, I can just do like this simple string. Obviously that's not infallible too, but it's an extra option that he has to call out somehow. In the corner, of course, it's not going to be as good because there's nowhere to go. Oh wow, there's nowhere to go in the corner, so you won't find it to be as good. Usually in the corner, I don't really try to backdash at all. But mid screen, he has to specifically call it out somehow. Usually, it's either with lows, he could do like that, or he could do not that. You might see him do 6H. Getting hit by 6H is really fucking bad. That does a lot of stun. I think just like a counter hit 6H, and you're almost stunned or definitely stunned, depending on your character. Like Milia cannot take a counter hit 6H at all. That is very, 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 very bad. Any questions about what I just talked about? I mean, I guess the too long didn't listen is he can counter all your shit, but use FD, watch out for high level attacks into hammerfall break, and try to use fuzzy jump and fuzzy backdash and FD to just push him out. Because once you push him out, he has to either work his way back in or hit you somehow. But poke throw is like the equalizer mix up. It's tough. It's tough to defend against. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, the Evernote will be tomorrow. Tomorrow. Not tonight, unfortunately. It is not done. It is not done. Only Potemkin questions, though, please. Not other unrelated character questions. I can talk about whatever after, but just Potemkin right now. Avoiding the situation is definitely the best. Not blocking. You gotta remember too that blocking Potemkin is bad outright. Like, so not just like let's say if you're thinking about fighting Milia, getting knocked down by Milia is really bad, but blocking Milia is not necessarily bad. But Potemkin gets what he wants to do off blocking and knockdown, so you don't even want to block him, if possible. You don't want to block him. If you block like this or this, it's not such a big deal. But if you block like this, that's really bad. Or if he got next to you like that, it's really bad. Stuff like that. There's a couple of stuff I didn't talk about, like I don't think it's super important. I think only really good Potemkin players do this kind of stuff, like what is it? What's the move? I don't even know how to do this move. There it is, like Trishula YRC, but I don't think that comes up a lot at beginner and intermediate levels, so I skipped it for now. Why is blocking him bad? Almost everything Potemkin does is negative frame advantage, so why is blocking him bad? Because he has an opportunity to start, that's what he wants to do. He has an opportunity to start what he wants to do. Even if you think like blocking him is bad, or everything he does is negative, so why is blocking him bad? Like if you block a jump in, that is obviously bad. Like that is bad. Like if he gets one jump in, he can just really quick do a backwards Mega Fist, because I'm not a Potemkin player. I guess not. He can do this off. Man, you could tell I don't play this character. I don't play this character. Basically, you don't want to block. You definitely do not want to block jump-ins. You really don't want to block jump-ins. Blocking something like that is no big deal, or this is no big deal. Getting knocked down is obviously a big deal because he gets like safe jump and shit. Same as like getting hit by slide head is an obvious big deal. But blocking certain stuff, like blocking jump-ins, is definitely a big deal. When he even him being like here is a big deal, and he has stuff that is plus, like level 4 attacks into Hammerfall Blake is plus 6k, which I'm not good enough at the game to do. I don't play this character. Why is it so fucking hard to do? Whatever, I got the melee attack on lock. I got the relaunches on lock. Anyway, this into Hammerfall Break is also plus, and he moves forward, which sucks a lot. It's plus 3 on normal guard. You don't want to fuck with that. Okay, should I go into the last part? I'm about to. I am about to. Let me just pull this buddy up. You don't ever do a raw 6k into Hammerfall Break, you buffer it from normal. I mean, I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to do it, but when they do it, it sucks. I don't know his Gatling, so... Or I should say I don't know his Gatlings, but I don't play him, so I can't do that stuff. But it sucks when you block 6k Hammerfall Break. He's plus as fuck, and he's moving forward. That's bad news bears. 5H Hammerfall Break is not so good to block either. 2S Hammerfall Break is pretty bad to block. It's not as bad as the other two, just straight up on advantage, but it's still plus. So. Okay, so when you have him blocking, this is cool. This is usually fun. Like I said before, he's big, so you probably can do stuff to him that you can't do to other characters, like I showed before. Like Milia's 5P hits him crouching. Maybe your character has something like this too. You might get special combos on him, blah blah blah. Pretty much when you're defending against him though, so... Sorry, not defending, when you're rushing him down, another thing, like I said before, his jump is slower than other characters, so you might get another type of special offense on him. Like, for example, I could do this. I need him to be player 1 though. Where's Potemkin? Okay. I guess the last time I played Potemkin was Christmas. His jump is 5 frames, it's slow as fuck, so you might get a special situation or two. Look into it. Look into it. I mean, usually you won't see Potemkin players jumping out of pressure or anything, but because they know his jump is slow too. The things you want to watch out for when you're rushing him down. One would definitely, without a doubt, be let's see. Whoops. His backdash. His backdash is godly. Like I said before, it's 21 frames total, 20 frames involved. So basically, you only have 1 frame to hit him. Whoops. What do you do about something like this? And if you think about it too, it's 21 frames total, 20 frames invul, and Potemkin Buster is 3 frames. So you have 1 frame to punish him in between that and his 3-frame Pop Buster. So good luck if you're not ready for that. It's not infallible though. All you need to do is do something that's really active. That's usually the way I go about hitting it. Do something that's really active, or OS like a movement or something. So in this case, if I did it right. Yeah, there we go. OS a movement or something, just in case it whiffs and you don't get punished. I probably would have gotten punished anyway, right? Big old pop. Oh, no, we're good. Or you could go for something active, or you could do something that hits low. Nice easy example would be this good old buddy, which normally you could just OS guard, but he tries to backdash. As you can see, I was holding down back, but I hit him just because it's so active. So those are the main ways you would deal with that. His super set is also pretty good. He has, of course, he has this. It's not perfect. It is good. It's not perfect. Gotcha. Yeah, this sucks to get hit by. That should have waited though. Whoops. There we go. Oh, what? I get surprised every time it doesn't work the way it's supposed to. I don't know. I actually can't tell you why it works when I do mix-ups, but not when I do it raw. Is it this? Oops. I probably just had to set it up. Yeah, I had to set it up. There's, I guess it's just a million thing. This thing pretty much just hits. I was gonna say that there was a spot you can jump and not get grabbed, but I guess it's just in my Milia setup, so just ignore that. But in the end, if you're doing some kind of jump thing to him, especially when he's getting up, he will go for that. So I guess the easy example is like. Yeah, see? They go grab that. But something like I think I did it wrong. But let's see. Your character might have it set up like this too, maybe, I don't know. It's just Milia shit. That's okay. I'm not gonna spend too much time on that one. I could double jump and avoid that, but some characters have ways to just like make it whiff, even though they're airborne. But it's kind of finicky though. But just know that if you're jumping, you can use it as a reversal. There's this too. This move is slow as fuck. This move is slow as fuck, but it I don't know what to do. I'll do that. It has a long stagger time. He probably is recovering before you. Let's see the specific. I want to make sure I say it right. It has 9 frames full invul. It's 9 plus 8. So because it's so slow, you might be able to OS it with like a jab or something, depending on your character, like a 2P or a 2K. Just give that a quick check. Like I would do like that. See how I just guard? Okay, that case, I endure it. It'd probably be better to do it on knockdown, but that's pretty much what it would look like. That one is not so bad, but if you're doing something that's like committal, like if I did, I don't know, like this is getting blown up for sure. But if you do something that's non-committal or really fast, I guess you need something that 9 plus 8. So as long as you have a move that's 17 total, 17 frames total or faster, you should be able to OS that. Most characters have a 14 or 13 frame total duration move that they can use. That can guarantee stun. I think if it just hits outright, it guarantees stun. You'd have to ask a Potemkin player. Because I personally don't really get hit by that. Milia is really safe against that move. Special notice is his dead angle. Probably, right? Oh, I didn't do it fast enough. Oh, too late. This kind of thing is hard. God damn it. I should do... Right? Yeah, his dead angle is the only one that's counter hit state in the whole game. So that might, for your punish, if you bait that, that's definitely worth knowing. That's actually really worth knowing. You might get something really good. Also, they could use this as a reversal. It actually has a good amount of invul. It's definitely worth talking about. It's 1 to 39 above the knee, so it has a lot of invul. It's just a giant pillar of fire. It's worth knowing that he can use that, and he might be able to use it against you. It depends on what type of mix-ups you like to do, your characters like to do. He has a pretty solid defensive set between all those things. Between Backdash, Trishula, Heavenly, and Gigantor, he's got a bunch of stuff he can do. One final thing about that size thing, it might affect your mix-ups too. Some characters, it doesn't matter. I imagine maybe, I'm not a Dizzy player, but I imagine it might affect Dizzy players, his size. It does affect Milia, so A, you might get special stuff, extra special stuff on him because he's so big. B, you might have something extra that you have to pay attention to because he's so big. I won't really go into super detail about what it is for Milia, but it might be a thing, especially if you're the type of character that sets something on an opponent or shoots something and then follows up. You might want to pay attention to that. Okay. That was a lot of stuff. Does anyone have any questions about what I just talked about or just anything Potemkin related? That was a lot of shit. It's funny, the icon that, like, for James Chen's stream has Potemkin doing Pop Buster somewhere. Potemkin is running Guilty Gear tonight. Yeah, we definitely looked at a bunch of shit. I guess the number, what would be the too long, the 30-second clip edition of this? What would that be? Don't block, don't get caught blocking, definitely don't get knocked down, try to push him out if possible, but he can stop you from doing it. and he's got a lot of defensive options. That's the skinny. That's the skinny. I'll leave it open for a couple of minutes though. I guess that was pretty straight. In the end, he's just a grappler, right? Like, I guess that was pretty straightforward. But this is your time. Now is the best time, by the way. Once I get distracted and start talking about other shit, you're done. Evernote is tomorrow. Evernote is tomorrow. Video next week as usual. Yeah, Shine, I guess everyone just wants to, they just want to lose to you. Okay, I guess for future LK, I'll end it here. I'll end